Now.
Miranda July's Kajillionaire is a film about a woman raised by con artists on the fringes of society, performing petty heists to scrape by. Though the trailer advertises it as a lighthearted romp, wow, did they seriously bill this as a comedy? Over the course of the film, the main character, Old Dolio,
Old Dolio
comes to realize that her parents are maybe not that great at being parents. There's a lot of ways that July brings attention to the relationship between Old Dolio and her parents, as well as to the relationship between Old Dolio and the world around her as a result. But for this video, I'm going to focus in on this night scene in particular. Right away, we've got the lighting. Contextually, yes, it's nighttime, but there's more to this darkness than meets the eye. I'm so sorry. Several times throughout the film, Robert and Teresa refer to the big one, an earthquake of biblical proportions that will destroy everything and kill everyone, leaving them to float in a black void of nothingness. Their certainty and terror of this inevitable doom has manifested in Old Dolio's fear of earthquakes, turbulence, and the dark. Old Dolio's little lamp keeps her room well lit and isolates her from the darkness and uncertainty of the rest of the office space they live in. Her office space shows us that her experience of the world has been narrowed, as she's been completely boxed into this life by her parents. And her little cubicle also confirms visually what we already know to be true. Everything revolves around the next petty job to keep them afloat. In the scene itself, Old Dolio checks on the family smartphone to see if they've won any contests with their hundreds of alibis, and her mother catches and interrogates her. Already you've got this half-wall divider between Old Dolio's sleeping cubicle and theirs, representing so much more about their relationship as they converse. It's a physical blockade, but it doesn't provide any real privacy. Teresa catches Old Dolio awake just by the glow of the smartphone. Old Dolio gets all the supervision of a concerned parent, without any of the affection, physical or verbal, of a caring one. There's lots more of this scattered throughout the film, separating Old Dolio physically or visually from her parents, portraying their true feelings about her.
What is that?
Then there's this back and forth. Old Dolio has been chewing on a toothpick she got from an acquaintance earlier in the day. Teresa dishes out some motherly wisdom.
When a man gives you wood, anything made out of wood, he's saying, you give me wood.
And Old Dolio, revolted, removes the toothpick from her mouth. Even with something as innocuous as a toothpick or the cost of a necktie.
This is not a cheap tie. Well, you can't see it because you're not of gentle birth.
There's this constant critique and distrust from Robert and Teresa, weaponizing Old Dolio's naivete, a naivete they have thrust onto their very adult daughter. In a later scene, Robert claims that he never wanted to treat her like a child, and yet all of their skepticism and disdain seems to be rooted in this simultaneously infantilized and hyper-distanced treatment of Old Dolio, which they use to manipulate and control her perception of the world and of outside influences.
Because most people want to be Kajillionaires. That's the dream. That's how they get you hooked. Hooked on sugar, hooked on caffeine. Ha ha ha, cry, cry, cry.
Normal people are hooked on life. They're stupid. They're obsessed with sex, money, material goods. All of their judgment of the outside world, and of Old Dolio, subtextually connects the two, leading Old Dolio to scrabble for any way to prove herself.
Me? I prefer to just skim.
So do I.
Do you? Oh, that's interesting.
The exact mindset they need from her in order to keep using her in their heists. There's a mountain of symbolism and visual imagery all throughout the film portraying Old Dolio's abusive parental situation. Though this scene only covers some of it, and it connects to a lot of other points throughout the film, I think as a standalone scene, it's a great example of how July made sure to show Robert and Teresa's emotionally abusive presence permeating every part of Old Dolio's life.
I think this is a little different because they're my parents.
In what sense?
What?
In what sense are they your parents?
So yeah, that's all for now. Sorry about the bummer topic, but if this essay piqued your curiosity, please watch this movie, because it means a lot to me and I'd love to cry about it with you. Alright, bye.